1 month ago, I asked you guys to play in the first online playtest of Astro. This video completely broke my expectations, and apparently YouTube's, so the pressure was on to make a quality product for the playtest. I quickly put up a demo version for people to mess around with in single player, but they took it and figured out how to host multiplayer matches over a VPN. So that night people were already playing the game, even though it was incredibly buggy and unready for multiplayer. I spent a couple of days just fixing all the crash reports, and pretty soon we were able to get some great gameplay. The purpose of these pre-alpha playtests was to see if Astro is even fun, and the answer seems to be yes.
It's so
In my
fun.
opinion, yes. Don't give up on this
I would
game.
play this game.
I will have 1,000 hours.
You guys also gave some really great feedback. The movement needs to be faster, guns need to be rebalanced, and the sliding and pushing are kind of weak. Shout out to Ribbert, Tatertot, Squid, and everyone else who played the game and submitted bug reports. After a year and a half, the pre-alpha stage is finally over. In alpha, I'll be finishing up the gameplay structure and working towards a fully functional FPS. Currently, Astro only has Team Deathmatch and Free-For-All, but now that I'm finished creating the Astro Experience system, the possibilities are endless. An experience is really just a game mode, but it sits above the actual game framework in Unreal Engine, and this is just because Unreal Engine's game mode class isn't very good. With my experience system, I can script high-level events together to create pretty much any game mode imaginable. Each of these nodes has a lot of C++ under the hood that handles actions specifically tied to the Astro gameplay engine. Two huge benefits to the Astro experience system are that I can change game modes without reloading the map, and I can add game modes at runtime as DLC, so that way users don't have to update their game to play a new game mode. Also, I'm considering adding Lua or some other scripting support on top of this, so you guys can add your own game modes for Astro. I've already gotten a lot of unique game mode suggestions like Racing, Tag, and Infection, and I also want to add some classics like Capture the Flag. Nothing about game modes is already decided though, so if you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear your ideas. Initial gameplay felt a little off, having only an SMG, sniper, and shotgun, so it was finally time to resurrect the Astro rifle with a much needed mesh upgrade. The next gun coming to Astro will be the quad cannon, an LMG with a special alt fire. I also added scoping to the Nightshade, but then everyone was frustrated that they couldn't ADS with the Ripper since it literally has a scope. I guess I can see why that wasn't very intuitive. So I added aiming, but the scope was just too small and far from the camera to be viable. Luckily, I spent a lot of time in the last video making weapons have their own custom FOV. So now, when you ADS, the camera FOV will only decrease by a small amount, 120 to 80 degrees, but the weapon FOV will go down from 80 to 30 degrees, which gives the nice effect of being really close to the sight. A standard feature of all FPS games is recoil, but the Astro recoil debate couldn't be more heated. Let me start by saying that there's many different aspects that make up recoil. First, there's camera rotation. When the player fires their gun, an impulse is applied to their angular velocity. The axis of rotation is different depending on the weapon. The shotgun adds a little roll, while the sniper adds a lot of pitch and yaw. Next, there's gun accuracy. As you shoot automatic guns, the accuracy decreases, as indicated by the crosshair, and the spread of the bullets is completely random because I hate spread patterns. The last component of recoil is the physical gun model moving in the player's hands, which is achieved by randomly blending between 4 directions of kick, and also pushing the gun back as more shots are fired. So I guess that's everything, right? You don't understand how 0Gs works, do you? Bro, I'm literally a physics major. How do I know that weapon knockback wouldn't work well for every gun? Because it was actually already a feature in V2, but I ended up removing it because it kept pushing the players away from combat. Weapon knockback will likely make a return for specific guns, but not as a permanent feature of all weapons. This stays in line with the principle of fun over realism. Adam, the default cosmetic, is now in the game. I had to remake the original suit because of skeleton changes, but now I don't have to play as Stripe Dude anymore. I also fleshed out the cosmetic system by separating the suit and helmet so that you can mix different gear together. The helmet will also affect the visual style of the HUD, which is similar to Valorant gun skins. I think this is a really cool way to do cosmetics because the helmet and suit can both be appreciated from a first and third person perspective. I also added thrusters to the jets of the character's suit, which will activate when they're using directional input, which generally helps the game feel like it's an actual space shooter. Can you spot what's missing from this clip? There's no sound, so let's fix that. In order to get the game ready for playtesting, we had to make some placeholder sound with Adobe's Audition software. We then used Unreal Engine's meta sounds to spatialize audio and add pitch variations so that the gunshots could go from sounding like this to this. There was a lot of other things that I did to polish up the game, like adding a settings menu with key mapping. I created a basic main menu, well, recreated, because the first one didn't go over so well.
And then this is their
That
lip.
line is coming out of the lip.
And then this is their big chin. And then this is their Adam's
Yeah.
apple. All right.
No,
They're just
dude.
spewing space out. Did you just find this online?
NetTick got some nice upgrades and some critical memory leak fixes, which improved simulation accuracy even more. There was also HUD improvements with new crosshairs, kill icons, a kill feed, the elimination card, a scoreboard, a game mode banner, 3D hurt markers, and more. Was there actually more? No, but you know how people say that. So yeah, Astro is now in alpha. We got some big changes lined up, so stay tuned for the next devlog. Peace. That was
That's
game.
kind of just pulls you
Oh
in.
my god.
Oh, what the